Joining me today is Prezleek, winner of the 2019 Community Champion Golden Gnome Award, and artist of over 200 weekly Runescape-themed cartoons that follow her and her trusty Bakyak Baru on their journey through Gielinor. She's created animations for the intro of the past 2 Golden Gnome Awards at Runefest, and has a few other older animations on her YouTube channel. She's had the honour of being incarnated into the game in the form of the friendly yak trader you can find at Manor Farm. And today, we're going to chat all about her experiences in RuneScape, from how she started playing, how her name came about, all other bits in-game, how she comes up with her ideas for these weekly cartoons, as well as any experiences with other people in the RuneScape community, and some other bits and bobs on the side. Join me as I head into the mind of Prezleek. Hello, Prezleek, Prez...
Prezleek, yeah.
Prezleek. Thank you for joining me this fine evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
That's alright, we'll talk about all sorts of RuneScape related stuff, as well as a bit more about how you got into art and stuff like that. Because that's always interesting. Everyone has their own pathway in and the stuff they started with, and it's nice to find out the backstory behind how you got into your field. So
my field.
Yeah.
You sound like I'm good at what I do.
I mean, you're 100 million times better than me, so...
Aw, shucks, thanks.
But let's go right back to the start. When did you start playing RuneScape? What was the thing that got you into it?
Okay, so I've kind of known about the game's existence since 2003 because of my brother, because he was really, really into it. Because that was when he was this was like elementary school about, and a lot of the kids in his grade were he's older than me, but a lot of the kids in his grade were really, really into it, and he started playing because of them. I didn't play, but I would kind of sit next to him.
You'd watch him play. Yeah.
Because he gets so excited. He liked to talk to me about his achievements. I'd be like, cool, as I'm reading or something. But this happened for about 2 years. So fast forward 2005 now. And eventually I've realized I've been watching my brother play this game for 2 years while I'm reading or drawing or something. And I'm like, I should, I'm kind of curious because he's really into it. So I asked him, can I try, can I just kill one guard? Because I think he was killing Varrock guards.
Yeah.
Because he was, I specifically remember this because he was getting so excited that he could hit 13s now. And he's like, even better, I'll help you make your own account. So he helped me set up my character. And first thing I remember off the bat, because he's like, he by default, he made it a female character. I'm like, no, make it a guy. All the kids at school always make fun of me for being a girl. I don't want people online to make fun of me for being a girl.
Okay.
He's like, and he's like, oh, you're sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm absolutely sure. Make the character male. I don't want to deal with bullies online, because if they're like that at school, they're probably gonna be worse in the unknown world. And he's like, okay, fair enough. So he actually helped me design Prez, quote unquote, so to speak. So the way the character looks was exactly how I made him on Tutorial Island. So he's not actually changed.
Stayed the same all those years.
Aside from armors and stuff, but the default outfit with the gray shirt, blue pants, and the beard and hair, that's all the same. But then we needed a name. Oh yeah, I should probably have said that first, the name part. Because you're supposed to think of the username first. But I remember when we were punching in the username, because we had just adopted a puppy named Pretzel. And when you're a little girl, a little puppy in your life is an absolute obsession. So I actually wanted to call my account Pretzel. But unsurprisingly, that name was taken. But I also didn't want numbers in it, because it was giving suggestions you can be Pretzel 1, 2, 4, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. That's lame. So we took a brief break because my mom had called us to dinner, so we had to get up and go eat. And she had made potato and leek soup for dinner that night, and I spilled some of it. And then little puppy Pretzel kind of went over and started like looking up the potato leek soup. And I was like, I can call him Pretzel Leek. And then that ended up being too long. So I dropped a few letters and it
There you
became
go.
Leek. So now you know why I have such a weird username.
That's quite the origin story, though. That's so.
But,
Did you have to share the computer? Was it a one computer household, or
in the earlier days back then? Yeah, especially with all the phone dial-ups and all that. We only had one PC, but I didn't mind. So it was still mostly my brother doing most of the playing because I was more interested in like reading cartoons and drawing than I was gaming back then. I still did it, and he kind of liked being my quote unquote mentor. Like he kept giving me like mithril stuff, and then I lost it because I got lured in the wilderness. And I was so devastated. He's like, it's like 1K, relax. But nah, and then eventually at some point as we got into like middle school and high school, a lot of our work ended up demanding that we kind of needed separate computers, so it ended up naturally
going
separate way that we can just both kind of chill and game on our own time.
So does he still play today?
He stopped in 2012 with the EOC update, but he came back for old school, so he plays old school now.
Cool.
He has slowed down a bit because he's basically he just finished medical school, so he's like really busy now. But once in a blue moon, he'll log in. But at this point, I think I probably log in way more than he does at this point now. But
so when you're in game, what is your go-to like thing? What do you spend your time doing? Yeah.
Dailies. So I usually first thing I'll do, at least right now, my routine is to check on my player-owned farm, check on my animals there. Then I'll do my daily challenge of a dungeoneering solo. Not solo, but one you have to complete one floor.
Yeah.
Because I'm not 120, so I'm just slowly trying to make my way towards 120 by doing that.
You couldn't make quite perfect use of that dungeoneering hole in Lumbridge over the summer.
It did get me quite high, so it did help tremendously. But then I'll do that. Then I'll do a Menopause task run because there is an achievement where you're supposed to do like 200 of them, and I'm like, I can't do that many, so I'm just gonna do like one a day.
And then eventually it'll add up, and you'll be like, there it is.
Exactly. Eventually I'll hit the 200 mark. Then I'll just do whatever I feel like, and then I also do old school daily, so like I'll do my like battle staffs there. I'll buy like 120 battle staffs from Zaf and sell it for like a free 200k. I do a farm run there. So it's basically just daily escapes because it depends how busy I am. But even when I have school, like class or like finals, I can still spend like 20 minutes just doing the basic maintenance stuff like that.
Just logging in daily, doing that little bit. Are you on the mobile betas?
I don't have access to the RS3 one because I own an iOS. So I know some people would be like, "You're bad."
You should just get a cheap Android phone just for it.
But luckily, I can do my old school dailies on my train to campus, so I can just do my farm runs at least there. Then I can just do my RS3 ones when I get home. So it's all good.
Do you remember your first 99?
I do. It was actually, out of all the skills it could have been, it was smithing.
Right. Okay.
Which is
interesting.
I know, weird, because it's like when I was in high school, I really got into. Okay, so I was actually free. So more backstory time.
That's fine.
So going back to, because both me and my brother played RS, but only he was a member because I felt bad making my parents pay for both of us, because I was like, okay, they're already paying for his membership of like a whopping $5 per month. I didn't want to ask them to also pay for me, so I was actually free to play until like 2009.
Right.
I knew about members things, but I just didn't participate in it until 2005. So But I had a goal that I wanted to get at least 199 skill before I became members. So at least I could just buy a skill cape. Actually, that wasn't me. So I could just buy a skill cape first thing, so I wouldn't have to buy an obsidian cape. And I really got into smelting because it was really AFK. So I could do like my homework or my school projects while smelting like steel bars or something, and that was really profitable, especially for free to play. So I just basically did that while I was working. I just smelt steel bars back and forth until 99. As I got towards the higher end, though, I did notice that if you superheated rune bars, you could profit and train magic. So for the last 5 levels, I superheated rune bars. And I managed to get 99 smithing, basically just from smelting bars. And it got my magic to 92. And then my mining was like 97. So I was like, cool. I'm almost 399s by doing this.
I can't imagine how that would work with the new mining and smithing stuff. That would be a lot of bars.
Yeah, I think it probably, looking at it now, probably mining probably would have been my first 99 if it was how it was, and how the mining, if the mining is how it was now back then.
Yeah.
I remember being really tilted though, because shortly after I became members and shortly after, I don't think it was that long after I got 99 mining, they had released the Living Rock Caverns, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because I had gotten it all in the mining guild. But it's okay.
It got there. You still did it. It's fine.
Yes, I still did it.
You can remember the grind. So.
I can. It was fun. And plus, it was technically, I think that's members anyway, isn't it? So it wouldn't have affected my free-to-play goals anyway. But yeah.
Right. And are you much of a lore person?
Yeah, I'm not, like, I try my best to follow it. Sometimes I miss some of the really specific details, but I do, like, I'm not a spacebar. I read the quest, I read the dialogue, I try to remember, like, oh, this character is like this personality, they act like this. And I think I like their writing's fun to me. Like, I feel like a lot of people that don't like quests don't read it because there is a lot of fun stuff in there.
There's a lot of little humor bits as well.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of why, for the comics, a lot of the reason why some of the way Prez talks and some of his quirks actually kind of come from how Jagex writes the player character in some conversations. So sometimes it's a little cheesy, but it's like, well, Jagex humor is kind of cheesy too. So to me,
it's quite a British like dad jokey humor.
It's like, to me, I was like, oh, it kind of vibes with the game's writing style. So I kind of like that it's similar, so I'm gonna keep it. I know some people are like, oh, it's so lame. I'm like, well, it's cheesy. It's supposed to be.
Exactly. Have you got a favorite NPC apart from yourself, obviously?
Oh, it'd be a bit narcissistic to say that, huh? Yeah, Pack-Yak. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'll pick an actual NPC. Guess going with lore. I mean, for a long time, I know this is a common favorite amongst many players, but I love Xanax. She's wonderful. She's great. She's been around forever, but she's also been, I think she's a good character to get people interested in lore because she is just a fun, she starts at, she's been around for a really long time. So, even if you played back in the day, you can still kind of remember her. But then she gets really involved in later quests too, when things get more sophisticated. So I think she's a really good.
She's gone on a journey as the games.
Character. Yeah, she's iconic enough that you can follow her even in the more more newer quests, the more story heavy quests. But it's also like she's just a fun character. She's like, it's so wholesome. She's like, oh, look at the surface. This is dirt or something like that. It's great. So she's great. I know it's a bit cheesy too, but like I know a lot of people are like, oh, Sasuke's like badass, but I gotta give a soft spot to Lucian too, because he's like the OG bad guy. Like he is the OG antagonist. He was the big bad for many, many years. So I gotta give him like a soft spot. Yeah, I have a soft spot for him. Sasuke is great, but you know, Lucian, he's been around for he's an OG.
Yeah. But have you had any breaks in your time playing, or have you kind of always had it on the back burner and always been logging in?
It's like, I mean, usually if it's a break, quote unquote, usually it's more like, oh, I have finals, so I probably can't log in for like a couple of weeks or something like that, or like a big project. I try not to. I think they come naturally. Like I don't conscientiously think. Oh my god, what is English? Conscientiously think about going on breaks. I just sort of say, hey, I feel like playing today, so maybe I have time to play today, or things like that. But I try not to stress too much if I'm not like, oh, I missed my dailies. Oh no,
It's
or
not
anything
the
like
end of the
that.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm very casual. I'm a very casual player. I'm not. Which is why I feel my opinions are really like useless when it comes to like giving feedback, because I'm like, I only know so much. I'm a casual player. I'm max, but I'm not even near getting a comp cape or anything like that. So
I
I can
mean,
only provide so much opinion.
you say that, but you've also been playing for, what's that, 12 years? Something like that? So you've got quite a lot of experience in it.
14. But
There,
yeah.
there you go.
Oh wow, it means next year I'll get my 15-year cape. But yeah, I don't know. I try. I can like compare how I like feel about certain updates, but I don't know how like valid my opinion is. If that makes sense. Like I just know how I feel as a consumer slash player at most. I don't know anything about game design. I don't know anything about how to appease to like the high level community versus like the lower community. I just know what I liked and what I didn't like. Is the extent of my opinions.
I mean, everyone has their own opinions, and everyone fits their own sort of genre of player. So,
That's
and
fair.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there's quite a few people like you that don't play for hours every day. So maybe you represent more than you realise.
Well, if I do play hours, it's usually that I just leave my character to fish while I'm working. But that's why I like this game. It can be really high intensity if you want it to be. Like, if you feel like doing high intensity PVM, you can. If you don't feel like it, you just want to relax, do something low key like some fishing or divination, that's also okay.
Yeah,
It's
however you're
something else.
feeling, there's almost always some part of the game you can go to and
Yeah.
enjoy it.
And farming is great because you can just log in once a day and you're still making progress.
Yeah, farming was my first 99. I've actually only started playing since January, so I'm
Oh
fairly
wow.
new to the game. I played back in school, but that was for sort of 6 months, got to level 60. Everyone else stopped playing, and I kind of joined them.
Ah,
But yeah, though, since January, so I used the player-owned farms, and farming was my first 99, so
it's a good one.
it was. It was nice and easy. But I think I planted one single tree in that journey, and that was to get that final bit of XP up to 99. So definitely
Okay.
did it the easy way.
It's okay. They nerfed it anyway, and they're
Yeah.
extending it to 120.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the dinos. So cool.
The baby ones looked really cute.
Yes. Are you looking forward to all the updates and stuff from Runefest? Was
Um,
there anything that stood out in particular?
I mean, aside from archaeology, I well, I guess the joke would be it gives me more stuff to draw. But like, all I know is at some point I gotta do something Indiana Jones parody or related in terms
Yeah.
of a comic. Like if that I don't care what people's opinions are gonna skill. I love Indiana Jones and I have to draw something that's just like a satire of the movie with Prez and Baru somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
I have to.
that keynote intro, the amount of shots that are exactly the same as Raiders of the Lost Ark is amazing. Whoever put that together did a great job.
They did. I love that. That opening was really, really good. And I love how they just had it like he was coming, how he came on stage right after it
Right,
ended, like it all connected together really nicely.
we just had Shawnee's face slide down the screen.
That was great. That's like classic Wile E. Coyote stuff right there.
So, have you been to many Runefests? Because obviously it's a bit of a trek for you.
I've been to 3. So 2016 was my first one. I didn't go in 2017 because I had a school conflict. I went in 2018 and then I went this 3
This
weeks
past
ago.
year.
So 3 out of, I don't know how many there have been, like 10, 9, 10.
Yeah, because
that
was one of the questions they did on that Golden Gnome evening, wasn't it?
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember. Yeah, I'm not like a veteran per se, but I'm experienced enough that I know what to expect.
And if you can make it, you're always going to go back to the next one, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say about Runefest is that makes you go back? Is it kind of more seeing friends, speaking to JMods?
Mostly the social aspect, because I have many friends that live overseas, and many of them live across. Even all my European friends, they all live in different countries anyway. So it's like it's just a time of year that we can all guarantee to see each other.
Yeah.
And it's really, really fun. Plus, it's fun to see, tell JMods, if, be like, oh, I really like that update and I really, really thought that, or things like that. It's a fun way to express your appreciation to specific mods.
Yeah, because I was so surprised, like, just the amount of them that were everywhere. Because, like I said, I started playing in January, so this was my first Runefest as well. And it was like, they're so open and just there to talk to you. I can't really imagine many other, like, conventions where that's quite the same case. Obviously, you'll have some where there's a couple of members, but you've got like half the entire crew is there.
Yeah.
Which is, it was an experience.
Yeah, I think it really does help to bridge the gap between player and JMod, because it kind of puts, and to me, I think putting a face behind names does wonders to put into perspective about how we go about how we communicate to them. For example, like if you're on Reddit and you're going to type like a feedback, you might be a little bit more intense, and if you're upset at an update, you might be a bit more intense, or but I mean, passionate, there's nothing wrong with being passionate, but you might end up saying things you wouldn't normally say to somebody's face.
Yes.
But I think seeing, the face behind the name really helps to be like, okay, or hearing their point of view, or just being able to engage with them and hearing, just even like verbal context does wonders to how you interpret dialogue or just conversation. It's like, maybe I should be a little bit more careful about how I, give my feedback. Like, I'm not saying don't give feedback. I'm just saying, like, it's
you're an
important to
artist.
think about...
Surely you like live on feedback, right?
Oh yeah, it's more like just keep in mind how you go about trying to provide constructive feedback.
Yeah, and just remembering the person behind and that's going to be seeing it. An important thing.
For sure. Yeah, do give feedback. Feedback is good. That's how we progress.
I was like, congratulations on your golden gnome. How was the? Did you have anything planned? Did you have any idea, or?
I had no idea. Okay, I had absolutely no idea. I found out that basically the same time everyone else did. The only time it clicked that it was me was when JD was talking, and at some point in his speech, I think he's like, this person's known for their comics. I'm like, okay.
Oh no.
I'm like, oh god. I was like, and then I think I think I was just too shocked to think of anything to what to say, because I was just like, oh my god, I didn't really know. And then all my friends were like busy being like, yes, 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 and I'm like, no, like, yes, and I'm just like, oh my god. It was it was very sweet though. Like I hope it doesn't sound too overly sentimental, but I was really, really touched by what JD said. I was really touched by the audience reaction. I did not expect that reaction to be as big as it was. I think that's why I was just so speechless when I went up. It's just I didn't. It's just weird when people applaud it because I'm like, really? I don't know. It feels like it's deserved, but thank you. But I appreciate it though. The community is wonderful. They've always been wonderful to me. They've helped me in ways that I'm not sure everyone necessarily realizes, but they've helped me become more confident in my own art and learning to appreciate myself as a person, because we all have our own insecurities and stuff like that. But my own mental health and stuff like that. So they've helped me tremendously in that regard, and I can't. I feel like I owe a lot to the community more than they're like, oh, we owe you so much. I'm like, no, I owe you if anything. But no, it was sweet.